When most people think of lifting weights, they picture stronger muscles, improved posture, or sculpted physiques. But behind the scenes, a quieter, more profound transformation is underway in the brain. Resistance training doesn't just change how your body looks or moves, it alters how your brain functions, especially as you age. Far from being a purely physical pursuit, strength training acts as a catalyst for neurogenesis, improved working memory, and emotional resilience. The barbell, it turns out, might be one of the most underrated tools for cognitive health. For years, aerobic exercise held the spotlight in neuroscience, and rightfully so. Running, cycling, and swimming are known to enhance blood flow to the brain and stimulate neurotrophic factors. But more recent research has shown that resistance training triggers many of the same brain-boosting effects, and in some areas, maybe even more protective, particularly for older adults at risk of cognitive decline. One of the key players in this equation is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein essential for the formation of new neurons and the strengthening of synaptic connections. While both aerobic and resistance exercise elevate BDNF, studies suggest that lifting weights produces a sustained increase in BDNF levels, especially when workouts involve progressively heavier loads and compound movements that challenge balance and coordination. This is particularly important in the hippocampus, the memory hub of the brain, which is highly vulnerable to aging and stress. In practical terms, this means that individuals who engage in regular strength training tend to perform better on tests of working memory, attention, and problem solving, and may even show structural brain improvements on MRI scans. A landmark study from the University of British Columbia found that older women who performed resistance training twice per week for a year preserved gray matter volume in the hippocampus and cortex, while those in the control group experienced normal age-related shrinkage. Another compelling benefit lies in stress resilience. Strength training challenges the body with short bursts of controlled stress, leading to adaptations in the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis, the hormonal system that governs your stress response. Over time, this training of the stress system results in a blunted cortisol reaction to emotional or physical stressors. In other words, lifting weights may literally make you harder to stress out. This is crucial in our modern environment, where chronic low-grade stress and cortisol dysregulation are linked to anxiety, depression, and brain fog. What's also fascinating is how resistance training appears to enhance executive function, particularly in older adults. Tasks that require planning, inhibiting impulses, and managing time, core functions of the prefrontal cortex, tend to decline with age. But strength training, especially routines that involve complex movement patterns or coordination, think kettlebell swings, split squats, or overhead presses, stimulates this region. The challenge of mastering technique, adjusting load, and maintaining form engages the brain in ways that are neurologically stimulating and beneficial. Even better, these changes don't require elite-level intensity or time-consuming routines. Studies have shown cognitive improvements with just 2 to 3 strength sessions per week, each lasting 30 to 45 minutes. Consistency, not perfection, is what matters most. And the effects compound. Individuals who lift regularly tend to report better sleep, sharper mood, and greater self-confidence, all of which further enhance brain health. There's also a feedback loop at play. As your cognitive clarity and emotional regulation improve, it becomes easier to adhere to your workouts, stay organized, and pursue long-term fitness goals. The mental strength gained from lifting, the discipline, focus, and incremental progress starts to spill over into daily life, reinforcing habits that support both brain and body. So while biceps and core strength may be visible benefits of lifting weights, what's happening invisibly is equally profound. You're stimulating neuroplasticity, fortifying memory circuits, buffering your brain against stress, and building a kind of mental grit that medicine alone can't replicate. And in an age when cognitive decline is one of the most feared aspects of aging, this makes resistance training one of the most empowering forms of self-care available. In short, every rep isn't just sculpting muscle, it's training your brain to be stronger, more adaptive, and more resilient. The gym may look like a physical space, but for those who understand its deeper impact, it's also a neurological training ground, one where aging slows, clarity returns, and the mind becomes as robust as the body.